It's a dream for any 100-meter sprinter in India to break the 10-second barrier, and that's what celebrated coach James Hillier refers to as the Sub-10 project. India's top three sprinters, national record holder Manikanta Hoblidhar, 10.23 seconds, 200 meters national record holder Amlan Borgohain, 20.52 seconds, and the rising 100-meter sensation Gurinder Veer Singh, 10.27 seconds, are training under James Hillier, the athletics director of the Reliance Foundation in Mumbai.
It's not something we necessarily talk about a huge amount. It's kind of there. It's a nice barrier to sort of to sort of break and things like that. But it's I get asked this question a lot. Obviously, the 10 it is a big barrier and all this type of thing. But I try and explain to the guy, look, it's just an arbitrary number, really. It's just because it's 10.00 and then 9.99. You don't want to be the guy that runs 10.00 and never gets under 10. 9 sounds a lot better. But why not strive for 9.95? Why are you just trying to get under 10? So, we want to sort of almost take away these barriers that we create for ourselves and actually become sort of, really sort of clear-minded and almost be limitless in our aspirations. And I think if we can break those barriers down, then actually, 10 seconds could be broken, but almost like, let's try and break it without even thinking about it. I think that's kind of the goal. I know what it takes to run under 10 in terms of, some of the things we need to do in training or in different, elements of the race and things like that. So it's more about that, really. So it's about, can they lift a certain amount at the gym? Can they run a flying 30 in a particular time? Or, can they, if they're doing a drop jump, can they get a certain score with their reactive strength index and things like that. So I'm looking more at those sort of, I guess, more process-driven goals in training, and then really hoping that they've got the ability in the mind to be able to put all those training bits together in a race situation and then elevate their level, to sort of put themselves in with a chance of running under 10. So that's kind of what we want to do, and hopefully it'd be nice if it could be done in India. That would be at a national champs or something. So we just need that perfect day, really. Perfect day, perfect weather, perfect. When they're at that absolute peak of their powers, and ideally, if you've got 2 or 3 of them all at their peak at the same time, I think that's really key to it. So if you've got one of them, if the guy it's not necessarily about the first guy, it's about the second guy, right? So if the second guy runs 10.3, the first guy only needs to run 10.2 to win the race. Does that make sense? Now, if the second guy runs 10.1, then the first guy's got to run 10.0. Now, if the second guy runs 10.0, then the first guy's got to run 9.9. So it almost becomes like actually the second guy becomes the important one because the second guy is pushing the guy that needs to win, right? So if you need to run faster to win, then you will run faster to win. And I think we've seen that. If you study athletics, you see this sort of cluster effect. You've got it at the moment. If you look at the men's 400-meter hurdles, you've got the 3 fastest 400-meter hurdlers of all time, all racing at the same time together. And obviously Carsten Warholm's got that world record, but he didn't win the Olympics. He's a world record holder, but he still couldn't win the Olympics. So you get that cluster effect where they sort of push each other. So that's really, for me, very, very important that we have this cluster effect, and it's really important they're all training together as well. That is, I think, really crucial to this sort of, if you want to call it the Sub-10 project or whatever, but that's kind of, that's important that they're all sort of coming up together. Yeah.
Amlan and Manikanta have been training with Hillier for quite some time, but Gurinder Veer joined his setup only midway through this year. This season, Manikanta won a silver at the Indian Grand Prix 3 and Amlan claimed bronze at the Interstate Athletics Championships. However, the talk of the town was Gurinder Veer, who stunned favourites Amlan and Animesh in the 100-meter final at the Interstate Athletics Championships.
Going very well, yeah. So we did two weeks of pre-season, 3 weeks, 2.5 to 3 weeks pre-season, which was just sort of getting the guys back into it. We were doing a lot of sort of diagnostic work, so looking at just their general strength qualities and if there was any sort of areas of weakness and things we needed to work on from like a physio perspective as well. And then we've done 2 blocks of general preparation, which are 4 weeks in length. So we do 3 weeks of training, and then we do a kind of testing week where we just sort of sense check how they're getting on and give them a little bit of extra recovery. So they'll have 4 rest days in that week, and then 3 sort of high intensity days where they'll test their gym. So do sort of 1 rep maxes in the gym. They'll do some running tests and some jump tests and things like that. And we're now in our first week of specific preparation. So general preparation is all about building fitness and basically conditioning the body for, you know, what's coming ahead. So conditioning the body for speed and strength and stuff. Now we're in specific work. So now we're trying to get fast in very simple terms. So we had our first speed session yesterday, which was good, which went well. I think the guys are a little bit sore. I haven't seen them today because I was doing some other work in the office, but I imagine they're quite sore today after the first speed session. But it's going well, and there's a good camaraderie, you know, with the guys. They all respect each other, which is really important. And they're good friends, but they want to beat each other when they're on the track. So it kind of it's a really interesting dynamic. But they're good guys, and they've all bought into the concept that if they make each other better, they're going to make themselves better. And that's kind of what I'm really sort of working on, really, to make sure that they come to training and they're trying to not only beat themselves but beat their training partners as well. So it's been good. It's been good. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. It's going to be a busy year next year. So yeah, we've got Asian Champs, as you said, which is at the end of May. So that's our kind of first sort of goal, really, is to get them qualified. It's pretty tough qualifying to the qualifying. We don't have the official times from AFI yet, but we think it's going to be, if it's the same as last time, it'll be 10:19, which is faster than the national record. All these guys are capable of that, but we have to try and get them into races where. Good quality races where they can get that. Obviously, Amlan will be focusing most likely more on the 200, although he will be doing hundreds and stuff like that. He had a difficult year last year, so with some injuries and things. So he's kind of really motivated this year to get back on track and dominate that and stuff. So. Then we've got sort of World Universities. So a couple of the guys will be doing World Universities and then obviously World Champs at the end of the year. One of the things I want to try and get off the ground is a relay as well. So, we've got effectively the best group of male sprinters that the country, I think really that the country's ever had, all at the same time. Like you said, the top 3 fastest of all time are all training together. And, and you throw Animesh into the mix as well, and Lalu. Lalu's run 10:30 as well. So you chuck all these 5 guys in the mix, and you've got literally like probably the 5 best sprinters that India's ever had, arguably. So I'm wanting to put a relay together as well. So we're going to be trying to get the men's forward 100 going as well, and try and push that and get some success there as well, because I do feel that's a really good opportunity for us. But again, stepping one step at a time. So we've got half an eye on the Olympics in 4 years, but we've got all these nice stepping stones on the way. So Asian Champs obviously this year. There might be a SAF Games as well. We think there might be a SAF Games in April, possibly. We're just waiting on confirmation for that. And then obviously Asian Games next year. So sort of each level sort of steps up a little bit, and then obviously World Champs in between that, and then Olympics in 4 years. So so hopefully if we can get this relay thing going and moving, then that would be a nice opportunity for the guys as well. But really just trying to get them fit, strong, fast, and then sort of let them be competitive amongst themselves and push each other. And I think once one of them goes 10-1, they'll all go 10-1. I'm pretty sure of it, because it'll break down that barrier of that 10-2 barrier. And then I think again the same thing will happen. Then one of them will go 10-0, and then I think the others will follow, and hopefully eventually within the next few years maybe we can even get someone under 10, which would be really, really nice. So that's kind of I guess where we're shooting. Yeah.